The first time I used illegal drugs, I was 12 years old. I started out with just a drink and then progressed to smoking a little weed. And then I remember a friend of mine had some cocaine that we tried. I fell in love. I remember one time that I had a Christmas pageant to go and sing in, and I hit my sister. My dad was working on his car outside, and I remember him coming out of the garage with the greasy hands, and I had a white shirt on, and I remember him whipping me with his belt until it drew blood. And I remember peeing in my pants, and I remember him hitting my mom, and I remember him telling her, "You're gonna take him to this Christmas play just like this." I became more addicted to drugs. I got married. I had kids. I wasn't there for my kids, just like my dad wasn't there for me. I can't explain the feeling. You have all these feelings against your father, but I still wanted his love, and I can't ever remember as a kid him hugging me and telling me he loved me. Never. My mom was always there. One of the things that really stuck out to me is once she got to California, she got saved. And that's where I think things for my whole family began to change. And I would always tell my mom, maybe you might hang out with those crazy Christian people, but not me, Mom. I don't want no part of that, and I didn't want anything to do with God at all, and I remember calling my mom and saying, "Hey, if you can find a program that's at least a year long, I'll go." A few days later, my mom called me back and she said, "It's funny, there were some people came by fundraising in these red shirts." And she said, and they told me about this program called Teen Challenge. And she said, and guess what? It's a year long. And I was like, okay, come and get me and I'll go. I was in a place to where I had already, tried to OD multiple times, just was ready to give up on life. 2004, I entered the doors of Teen Challenge. I craved my father's love. So having these other men kind of show their love to me really stood out to me. Like, you don't even know where I've been or what I've done, and how can you love me? That really spoke volumes to me. So it was there in Shafter that I gave my life to Christ, right there in that little chapel, and things began to change. I remember crying out to God and saying, Lord, if you'll save me. And I remember Teen Challenge van pulling up on the job I was at. And I was like, wait, God, that's not what I meant. Like, I don't want to go back to Teen Challenge, but I was in a place to where I was so hurt and broken, and that I needed to be saved. 2016, I came back in the doors of Teen Challenge. I committed to God right then and there. I said, you know what? I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to open up this house that I have not let you in, this certain room in my house, and I'm going to give you everything. All the hurt, all the pain, all the brokenness, all the unforgiveness. My stepmom called me and said, your dad is dying. And as much as I hated my dad, I loved my dad. I'll never forget it. It was 12:36 at night. It had just passed midnight. It had just finished my birthday, and it had just turned Mother's Day. And I talked with my dad, nobody in the room but me and him, and I spoke over my dad that Jesus loved him, that no matter what, he had done in his life, that he can be forgiven, and that I believe that he received Christ right there that moment, and my dad passed away. Everything that he's done in my life has been a process of him, rebuilding my life. I love to work with wood because you can build things, you can shape it, you can mold it, you can, make things that are beautiful. So God has taken all the broken pieces in my life and he's made something beautiful out of it. My name is Steve Peake, and that's my story.